Good evening, everybody. This is why the description or the graphics of candlesticks are that much more beneficial than just seeing what a chart is telling you. For example, today, the Dow was down 209 points. That seems pretty bearish. But when you look at it on a candlestick chart, what they did, they took it down and they brought it back up. And where'd they bring it back up? Above the T-line. And what is our simple basic rule? It's down another 111, but that really doesn't matter right now. Because last night, late at night when I was working, the futures were up 71 or 75 points. And then when it got up this morning, they were down 200. So it doesn't really matter what the futures are right now. The importance of the futures are what are they doing about 15, 20 minutes before the market opens. And even then, there's time for them to kind of move around. So anyways, right now, if you use our simple trading rule that you're in an uptrend as long as it doesn't close below the T-line, today's selling still didn't have the conviction of strong selling. Even though it was down 200 points on the Dow, still a very indecisive signal. Same scenario on the NASDAQ. Gaps down, but did an indecisive trading day, staying above the T-line. So what will be the important factor is when we do get up tomorrow morning, seeing what the pre-market futures are showing. Now, if they are showing lower, that's bearish. That probably tells us the NASDAQ's probably heading back down to test the 50. And the Dow also could be heading back down to test the 50. But the other aspect that told us there wasn't just across-the-board selling is look what the transportation index did. It did come down, test the 50/T-line area. And then closed basically flat, down 0.2%. I don't know whether, no, it's not necessarily double tops here. Well, could be. But we're still trading up above the T-line. We do have a Morningstar signal. So again, it will be important to see how they open this market tomorrow. Obviously, a positive open after a doji tells us the uptrend remains in progress. Oops, hang on. All right, so the reason we go through this analysis is if we've got a portfolio, and let's say it's 10 trading positions, in this type of market atmosphere, you might still have 8 long positions and 2 short positions. Well, Hormel Foods was up today, but we're not in the oversold area, and it didn't come above the high. That tells you you stay short. Again, looking at Hormel as a short situation, with a blue ice failure, still with the potential of coming down here to the 200-day moving average. All right, so let's take a look at some of the stocks that we've got positions in. VIP's backed off, but notice where it closed today. Not only did it stay above the T-line, but it stayed above the 3T line. However, look at the signal that it did, a potential bearish harami. That tells us that if we wake up tomorrow and the pre-market futures are lower, and this one's opening lower, it's a good time to take profits. Might be wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Wave 1, maybe back to wave 2 before you head into wave 3. The Russell also looked better in the sense that it used the T-line as support and really didn't sell off that dramatically. So again, we didn't, even though it was selling off today, it wasn't a day where, everybody was just bailing out of positions. So it was just more of backing and filling. We also have the opportunity, or the at least insight, to identify which sectors are trading the best. Crone, for example, in the weed area, after it came out of this left-right combo cradle pattern, notice what it's done. It's used the T-line as a support. Now, what do we want to watch for? Well, knowing that we came out of a fry pan bottom and we broke out through this area, see if I can do this. Broke out through this area with a J-hook pattern. Now what's our next analysis that we just used based upon what the candlestick rice traders have told us? The further we start moving away from the T-line, the more you want to flip over to your 10-minute chart to see when would be a good time to take profits. The New Age beverage. Make this a little bit smaller. You can see there is basically a lower trend and an upper trend. Kind of looking for this to move up into the upper trend level. So, illustrating these stocks, ACB, also your classic fry pan bottom J-hook pattern. Notice how the J-hook pattern started with a morning star signal back up above the T-line. I say notice this. When you have, this is what I call 2 plus 2. You can add the fact that you've got a reversal signal and a potential pattern. That's just adding 2 plus 2 together to come up with a conclusion that you can pretty well calculate. Let's see. And CGC, again, kind of a fry pan bottom, wave 1, wave 2, a little bullish left-right combo, gap up, wave 3. How big is wave 3? Maybe the same as this, 15 points, taking you up into the $60 range. So, also notice that the stocks that have a pattern are EBIX. There's a J-hook pattern. I say notice this. The market was down 200 points a day, and what did the EBIX do? It was maintaining that J-hook pattern. EVA, just a nice steady eddy, staying above the T-line and the 3T line. Notice how this one started. Morningstar signal, didn't confirm. Bullish engulfing, gap up, doji sandwich. Now how long do you hold on to this? As long as you don't see a reversal signal and a sell signal. That's kind of redundancy, isn't it? As long as you don't see a candlestick reversal signal and a close back below the T-line. We've got a little bit of Zen in a couple of the accounts, just a nice steady eddy. Again, there's your kicker signal that came off the 50. There's your J-hook pattern. Nothing here to tell you that the sellers have started taking control. I can't even read my own handwriting. I don't know what that was. That's not it. Well, for crying out loud. ah, that's the utility, and I can't even remember. That's just great, but I can't remember from the time I wrote it down. DHO. There was your buy signals. There's kind of your kicker signal. There's your J-hook pattern. There's the prospect of this one. Wave 1, wave 3 up here in this range. There it is. Thank you, Edward. That's not a C, that's an L. El Paso. Still moving up nicely, except now you got shooting stars. So where would we take profits? If it came back down through today's low, that would tell us that we've had another wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 1, wave 2 in progress. We recommended DLPH today. Didn't execute, but you can see what's setting up. Again, another kind of a bobble breakout. And you can still be buying this if it opens positive tomorrow. So the factor that we look at is, even though it was down today, only 10 cents, but look where it closed. It closed above where it opened, which means there was buying going on, even with the market selling off like it did. He's another one that we were buying because of the left-right combo, J-hook pattern. I think we started buying down here somewhere on the bobble breakout. But this is why when you see a pullback, look at the nature of this pullback. Indecisive, indecisive, indecisive. So what becomes the big criteria to watch for? To see what it does at the next support level. In this case, our support level is the T-line. But it did a left-right combo. So if you got out up here, you get back in here. Or if you didn't get out here, you can still stay long because of that left-right combo. That was He's. Marvell opened lower, came right back up. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And how did wave 3 start? Your best friend, Doji gap up. Notice what type of trading you had back here at the T-line. Indecisive, indecisive. Now they've told you which way they're taking that decision. So again, there's 2 plus 2. If you can see what type of strong signal you had, and you can see what type of pattern setting up, that should improve the probabilities of being in the right place at the right time. EXPI, right now you just stay long on this one as long as this J-hook pattern stays in progress. Now, if this opened and started trading lower tomorrow below the T-line, you probably want to close it out, because what's it telling you? Instead of having a J-hook pattern, you're now probably in a downward drift, which might bring you back to this level, which would also kind of tell you you're going to have some lethargic trading for the next few days. Take your money and move on to something else. Odd, even though it was down 50 cents today, look what we see as far as additional confirmation the bulls are still here. Opened lower, closed up here. Even though it was down, that told us that there was buyers in there after the open. Square, same scenario. However, look what we anticipate. Wave 1, wave 2, bobble breakout, wave 3. So to stay long on Square, it definitely needs to open positive and trade positive tomorrow. Again, a function of how the overall market probably will be trading. Excuse me. Micron, same scenario. Wave 1, wave 2, bobble breakout. Oh, I've got a frog in my throat here. Excuse me. So even though it was down 86 points today, or 86 cents. They were buying. It's still keeping us in our pattern. LCI, we've got sitting in some of the accounts. Fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern. Notice how it came back and used the T-line as support. And you've probably heard me say this many times over. The reason it's so relevant to see that it's supporting on the T-line is because nobody has the T-line on their charts. We use it because it's kind of a natural support and resistance. So if you figure that probably 99.999% of all people out there do not have the 8 exponential moving average on their chart, it's not like it's acting like a magnet or a support level. Because there's nobody else has it on there, it's acting as a magnet or support level on its own. The gold stocks were acting well today. Gold was up, J-Nug, J-hook pattern. Nugget. Notice the indecision, left-right combo off the 50. Where do you think the next target's going to be? I'm up here at the 200, kind of coinciding with this recent high. IQ recommended this recently because of the little J-hook breakout at this level. Whoops. So to stay long on this, it definitely needs to open positive and trade positive tomorrow. Same scenario with blue. Kind of a J-hook pattern, but it, with a doji harami today, we know exactly what will happen tomorrow based upon how it opens. The doji rule tells us it's going to move in the direction how they open after the doji. Now getting into some of the biggies, like Roku, look where Roku closed today. Right there. Tells us if they open this positive, it's kind of confirming this little left-right combo by heading for the 200, but breaking out of this J-hook pattern. I'm going to do a sound check. Can everybody hear me all right? All right, good. Nothing happens. Get worried that I'm talking to myself, which I do too much. QTT, same scenario. Kind of a fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern. Didn't confirm today, or if you're already in it, you stay in it. But if you're going to be a buyer, I'd buy it. Did we recommend that one today? No, we recommended that one Friday, right? Anyways, this one can be bought if it comes back up through, let's say, the high of Friday. Now, the other biggies, like Apple, this is where knowing what each individual chart is telling you. Nothing real exciting about Apple right now. And did somebody, did I recommend it today? I did. There it is. Yeah, it needed to get up through the 925 area. So QTT, yes, you want to be Jim, I still don't know why we have the tech support area open. Why that opens up like that, I don't know. But Apple just doesn't have anything. So this not only, candlestick analysis not only tells you when to go short or when to go long, also tells you when to stay out. There's nothing happening in a particular stock. NVIDIA, as we saw, got whacked. So here's why You want to know what to do when you, let's say you were long and it did this. The first thing, now I'm going to tell you my first thing is, they open it down here, what am I thinking? I'm thinking for some miraculous reason, they're going to bring it back up so at least I can get out somewhere. Well, years and years ago, I've discovered that our hope, what's that? Hope doesn't help us any. If you're intending for this to go up and they do something that drops it like this, your first analysis has to be, what's the chart telling me? It's telling me I'm not in an uptrend and it's not doing what it's supposed to. Close it right away. It hurts to take that big hit, but more than likely, that big hit may not do much of anything for the next 3, 5, 7 days. Whereas when you get out of a situation that you can identify is bad, that you can take that money and go find something that looks more like this so you can start getting it back. When my profitability increased dramatically, when I finally realized that 30% of the trades I make aren't going to work. So when I know that, instead of it being an ego decision, it now becomes a probability decision. Something that I bought that's not working like it should, I close it out. And it doesn't bother me that I've taken a small loss, because that's exactly what I want to do. I want to take a small loss and move on to something else. So successful investing also includes not only recognizing which are the good charts, but recognizing when to get out of a bad situation quickly. Now, Amazon, I guess this is where you should ask yourself the rhetorical question, which way is this stock going? Right now, there is nothing here to tell you whether you should be long or short this stock. If you look at a chart, and you can't figure out whether to be long or short, that means go get out of that position, go find something that looks more like this. The advantage we have, again, with scanning for candlestick trades is we'll always have way more trades than we can ever handle. And that means not only do we have more trades than we can handle, but we can take the good trades and kind of analyze those trades to see which ones would be the best ones. So you're always going to have something that's going to keep improving your probabilities of being in the right place at the right time. Tesla, nothing yet. I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't gotten quite to the oversold area. Wouldn't be surprised to see this waffle around waiting for the T-line to come down and meet where the trading is. Netflix, if you've gone long on this J-hook pattern, it also has to open positive tomorrow. Or if you haven't gone long, if this opens positive tomorrow, that tells you the J-hook pattern is still in progress. You can be buying immediately. And Facebook. Another scenario where you had a buy signal. The stochastics aren't really anywhere, so what you'd be looking for is a J-hook pattern. Well, obviously today did not confirm it. If I was long, based upon buying on Friday, and it did this, now I know I've only got one criteria. It has to open positive to stay long. If it opens lower, what type of signal do I have potentially setting up? Kind of that bearish flutter kicker, which tells me I don't want to be in it. Or even if it trades a little bit lower, what's it tell me about my J-hook pattern? It's disappeared. I might be in a slow drifting downtrend. If that's the case, I want to go find something where the probabilities are in my favor. So there's always going to be good breakout situations. Notice the bullish flutter kicker breakout on VSM that told you there was going to be more upside. And notice where the bullish flutter kicker occurred. Right here at a major resistance level that everybody else is watching. So the breakouts are very simple. Again, I guess the ultimate 2+2 analysis. But if you see a fry pan bottom, a breakout through the resistance level, that tells you there's probably a new dynamic. And when it broke out through the 50, where do you think the next target was going to be? Up to the 200. So somebody was pointing out JD today. Let me make this a little bit smaller. So where are you kind of on the JD chart? Right about a breakout level with a J-hook pattern. So if this starts trading positive, like above today's high, that means it's breaking out through the resistance levels. So this is why being able to identify the strong signals, the best friend signal bouncing up off the 50, and a resistance level, if this is telling us we're starting off with a strong uptrend, this tells us if they break out through here, the uptrend is going to be continuing. We want to be in that position. Cyber. You can see how you had kind of a resistance level right through here. And there's your doji, kind of not quite a best friend, but doji gap up. Now you've broken out. Where's your next upside target? Don't know. So I guess let's see if there's anything to latch on to. Yeah, maybe. Up in that area. Why is that relevant? Because there's people that draw trend lines, and that would be their target. We're not trying to say, all right, this is our target. All we're doing is saying this is the potential target. So if it gets up here, and we see a doji, and then it opens lower the next day, we know that that was the target everybody was looking for. And pets. Oops. Bigger. You can see where this could possibly break out. Kind of a bobble breakout. There's your inverted hammer. There's your bullish confirmation. If this started trading positive above the 50, breaking out through this level, telling you there's a new dynamic in that stock. All right, so a few more that look good. Yogi. Also kind of right at a breakout area. J-hook type pattern. So if it traded positive, it'd be moving positive because there's a little gap over here to fill. AUDC was that type of situation. Let me make it a little bit smaller. You can see where the breakout area was right there. J-hook pattern when it opened positive. That told you were in a new dynamic. That wave 1, J-hook wave 3 was definitely going to take you through the resistance level. Again, 2+2 told you pretty much what to be looking for. USAT, J-hook pattern. Another one that can be gone after. Hawaiian Air, J-hook pattern. Where do you think the next target is if they start trading this positive? Up here at the 200, where there's also a gap. So if we can identify the pattern, kind of your fry pan bottom, J-hook, notice how the J-hook started with a Morningstar signal followed by a doji sandwich. Where do you think your upside target is? Well, you measure wave 1. Wave 3 could bring you back up into this area. So the only reason that we can kind of make these assumptions is that human nature works the same way time after time. That's why we're looking at these patterns and signals. There's your fry pan bottom on MaxIR. Now, is this a relevant chart with that slow fry pan bottom? Well, it is in the sense that if this got popping again, there's your first target, fill in the gap. So if it's trading at 587, goes to 8, that's got to be a good 30% upside. And then if it goes up to the 200, back to this level, it's got pretty much 100% upside potential. So there's two factors that we can take advantage of, seeing what pattern setup is occurring. Is the pattern relevant, number one, and is the magnitude of the potential return relevant? Now, if this was a pattern where my upside potential may be 7%, but if my upside potential is 30% and then maybe 100%, yeah, that's worth the risk reward, because if we're looking at what human nature normally does, we might as well be looking at it on the ones that are going to produce big profits for us. Zayo J-hook pattern. Yeah, notice where are some of these signals or patterns started. There's a big, huge Morningstar signal. AZRE, there's your bobble breakout. Now, a lot of people will say, shoot, I don't want to be buying a stock. It's already up 15% today. You do. If the pattern tells you there might be up another 40% over the next few days. High probability trade setups, like the bobble breakout. It's very simple. You can see the slow curve, bobble breakout, telling you the probabilities are pretty strong that you're going to have more upside. Dave and Buster's. There's kind of your cradle pattern, bullish engulfing. If this starts coming up through the 50, you've got a bobble breakout. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 up in this area someplace. Cone, there's your scoop type pattern. Telling you positive trading from here, you could have a slingshot effect to the upside. So this is why we want to recognize what human nature normally does. There's a J-hook pattern on Weingarten. Now, Weingarten is a REIT. And I think Weingarten is probably still paying a decent dividend. So you've got upside potential and dividend yield while you're hanging on to a position like that. AVCO, or the real speculator. There's your inverted hammer Harami. There's your doji. If it opens positive, you probably got some good percentage trading, which you'd probably want to do off your 10-minute chart. Let's see. For some reason, got pod. Oh, because of the left-right combo. Remember, the left-right combo is a very strong reversal signal. Indecision, indecision, indecision. Left-right combo opening positive. Again, 2 plus 2 is we've got a strong buy signal, and they start trading positive. We've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So if you add that to your analysis of something like this, look at your left-right combo today on ENPH. If this opens positive, what do you got setting up? Wave 1, wave 2, J-hook pattern, wave 3. And Smart Sheet, left-right combo, if it opens positive, what's that telling you about this resistance level? Telling you that resistance level is not acting as resistance anymore. Wave 1, wave 2, going into wave 3. Let's see. You can see gold acted well today. You can see kind of the scoop pattern. Gold's down $1 after hours. But where's your next anticipated move? Maybe back up to this level, which means your gold stocks and your silver stocks are acting well right now. SA, bullish Harami, right smack dab off the 50. What do we got going on? Kind of your classic. Where's your next target? Probably back up here into the recent highs. Whoops. Which means Nugget also probably heading for the 200-day moving average. AMGN, there's your bearish left-right combo. If this one opens lower after the bearish gap down, where do you think your next likely target is going to be? Let's make this a little bit smaller. Pretty much draw kind of a trend line down through here and draw a trend line down through there. That becomes your next target. Okay, I think that's about all I got tonight. You stay with the charts. This is why one of the hardest things I had to do, if you're long on some of these charts, you just stay long until you see a sell signal. This one's Yogi's kind of good confirmation that it's consolidated. Now look for the next wave to the upside. Signal, or remember, the further away you move from the T-line, the higher the probability it's going to come back and test it. Okay, so with that, are there any general questions on candlesticks? Now, we are going to be, I guess there's a quick change. We were going to do our top rank signals and patterns again on February 16th, but I found out that's President's Weekend, which I'm tied up. So on February, whatever the weekend after that, February 23rd, is when we're going to be doing. Oh, Bruce, again, I don't know why we get some people over here and some people in the main room. And I see you're in both rooms, so I don't know why it comes up over here. I don't know what the percentage is, Bruce. I just know the percentage is high enough that if you, and this is what we tell people when we do these top-ranked trainings, is you don't have to know all 18 of them. You want to be familiar with them, but then you become a specialist. Let's say you become a specialist on the J-hook/bobble breakout. You just know that the percentage move on a bobble breakout is extremely high that you're going to have a profitable trade. What that percentage is, I couldn't tell you. It might be 85%, it might be 72%. It's extremely high. So anytime I see a bobble breakout, now also, that's got to be in conjunction with the market's kind of moving in this direction. Now, obviously, if you've got a market that looks like this and you see a bobble breakout to the bullish side on a specific stock, you may not have the same carry-through with the market heading this way versus the market heading this way. So the answer to that was a long, drawn-out, nebulous answer But the first thing you want to know is which way is your general market going, and then if you've got a bobble breakout, that becomes a more relevant when you're moving in the right direction. Oh, Stan, just 2 plus 2 to me is, let's see if I can find something. 2 plus 2 is, if we can see that we've had a left-right combo, that if it trades positive, it's confirming our left-right combo, and if it trades positive, it's telling us it's confirming our J-hook pattern. So we're just adding 2 plus 2 to come up with knowing that it's going to equal 4. Did you get some of the stocks with your scan? Yes. Yes. All of them. Chat tab does not seem to be working. Bruce, yes. I haven't ever figured out the exact or the statistics, but I would say that at least 70% of my trades are positive. Now that might mean it's 0.3% positive, or it might be 300% positive. But when you put all the stars in alignment, meaning if you analyze what the overall market is doing, and you pick out a sector where you might be seeing across the board positive trading, and you've got a strong signal or trend, yeah, that all puts the stars in alignment. That you're off the cradle pattern here. If you bought the cradle pattern bouncing right here off the 50 scoop type pattern, this is one where once you bought it, you might have been worried right here. But what was our final criteria? Needed to see a sell signal or close below the T line. When it didn't do that, same scenario right here. I told you as long as you're above the T line, you can stay long. Your left-right combo. This was my left-right combo. Again, I use the same criteria. I wouldn't want to see it close halfway down the candle that told me the bulls were in control, and or below the T line, or both. Left-right combo, okay. Nias, yes, I think the left-right combo package. I don't have the answer to that. Somehow it tells you you've got a left-right combo. I think Domino's Pizza, look at your left-right combo. Look at your wedge formation. And so if you look at this, you're in an indecisive trading, a kind of a wedge. And where's the last indecisiveness? Right there with the doji, and at the point. Then when they do a left-right combo, that tells you not only has your wedge broken out, but the left-right combo told you which direction they were going to go with great enthusiasm. AMAT, and had a wave 1, wave 2, gap up wave 3, trying to break out through this level. But also notice they opened it here and closed here. That told you there was buying after you opened today. So I am probably, on a real quick basis, this is probably going to be recommended tomorrow for 2 reasons. Because of your fry pan bottom coming up through the T-line, your first target is still a good 35% upside. Next target, gap up here, pretty close to a 80 to 90% upside potential. And then ENPH, J-hook pattern. That would be breaking out through this level, giving you about that same magnitude. See what else I mark here. Let's see. Yeah. There was one more. I'll have to find it. Okay, I guess with that, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. Whoops, maybe I didn't scroll. Max, yeah, I don't know why we have two rooms open. Jim, did you put in the double line? Oh, way down there. Okay. What backwards? Okay, we did JD. JD's about ready to break out. Netflix needs to open positive and trade positive tomorrow to stay in it. Shake Shack, another one. Whoops, no, that isn't Shake Shack. It's just like Netflix because it was Netflix. Shake Shack also a J-hook pattern. Look at the little wedge. I'd be a buyer of this one on positive trading. Again, wave 1, wave 3 should take you back up to the 200-day moving average. Chicago Merc. This one you might get ready to go short. See, you have a downtrend. You failed here at the 50. If this opens lower, I would suspect you're going to be in a sideways channel, bringing you back down toward the bottom of that channel. ESW, are they shoes? Another one that, if it opens positive, at least you have to watch to see if it breaks out through this level. If you're long, stay long. If you're thinking of going long, I'd be more apt to buy it at 27.10, knowing that it was continuing higher. Boeing, stay long as it stays above the T-line. Twitter. Twitter, you can stay long. Also, it has to get up through the 200. So, still not a dynamic chart yet, but it's moving in the right direction. AMD, I would have been out of today. You've got kind of a bearish kicker, open way below the previous day's open. There's no direction on AMD right now. I'd be someplace else. Yeah, CHRS also was a good potential. You know, we had that one as a potential doji sandwich J-hook pattern breakout. Again, a 2+2. If this opens positive, we got a doji sandwich. If it opens positive, it should move the same magnitude, meaning it would break out through this level. Dell, you can stay long on this one. I wouldn't be buying here, but if you're long, you stay long. Apron, another one that's setting up for a J-hook type pattern. I'd buy in positive trading, or I'd be more apt to buy if it came up through this level. DXR, just stay long. SID, I'd be out of. Wayfair, you can stay long on this one. Just watch when it gets to the 200-day moving average. Melly, another J-hook pattern, left-right combo. I'd be a buyer of this, kind of breaking this little downtrending channel. J-hook pattern telling you got the potential upside of this magnitude. NEO, stay long. You're in the overbought area. You had kind of a spinning top. I'd put a sell stop just below today's low. If it came back down through that level, pretty much telling you the bears have taken control. VIPs we did. VIPs has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, they're probably coming back to do a test of the T-line. AXSM, oh boy. Bearish engulfing. If this opens lower tomorrow, close it out. Tells you they aren't going into new high territory. That's right, 2 rooms, 2 plus 2. Same as on the close today, JB. B-cell, stay short. TRXC, I wouldn't be long or short this one. Nothing there to show. Let me see what's happening over here. Okay, just a couple there. INSEE, I don't think you could be shorting it, or if you were short from up here, you stay short, but I would have covered the short right there, so I wouldn't be long this one. Chipotle, just stay long. May have stopped out today with it coming down through the low. If you're long and it opens lower tomorrow, yeah, definitely close out the position. They're coming back to test the T-line. Bearish kicker signal on the IBB. Failure with a hanging man here at the 200, making the gap right here at the 50 a likely target. SRPT. This one I would have been out of today with the close after a hanging man signal that showed they failed this level. I would have closed this out and or be ready to go short on this one on positive or bearish trading tomorrow. ILMN, stay short. Again, there's your hanging man. Evening star signal closed below the T-line. Kind of a bearish doji sandwich. Stay short until you see a buy signal. AEHR. Oh boy. You can be buying this one. Just make sure your volume is hefty. It looks like it is. I think we did apron, right? Apron you can buy, but I prefer to buy it above the 153 level. CCEP, there's your bearish Harami telling you the selling is stopped. So if I was looking at this on that day, the same scenario, it had to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. The fact that it opened lower told me close it out immediately. And or you could be going short. That's Coca-Cola European, all right. There's your kind of your message. Fry pan bottom. Stay long on American. That's Southwest. Bounced up. Fry pan bottom. Breakout. Stay long on this one. AQST. Got a fry pan bottom, but nothing real resilient yet. If you're long, I wouldn't be going long until I see a strong buy signal on this one. And workday, all you can do here is stay long as long as it stays above the T-line. GE, that's just not a chart to trade. I'd be someplace else, Charles. GE, number one, is your quintessential institutional trader, and right now there's just not enough direction in it to do anything. Intelsat, get ready to buy this one on a breakout of the 50. It'd be a bobble breakout. PTLA, has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, if you're already in it, get ready to take profits. Tandem, notice where it failed. There was a bearish engulfing. There was a shooting star. Get ready to short this one on weakness. The Stochastic's heading down, your bearish evening star signal with a close below the T-line. CAN, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Stay long until you see a sell signal. Have your safety stop at today's open. The SOX, stay long. You see they opened at the T-line and brought it back up. Stay long until you see a confirmed sell signal. IBM's in a 45 degree. You're not going to make a whole heck of a lot of money, but it's heading in the right direction. Yes. A bullish left-right needs to have a bullish engulfing signal. Otherwise, it's a bearish engulfing signal. Nautilus, these are toughy to trade because you're wounded on this. When they gap it way down like that, it's kind of takes a while for it to heal. I'd probably be someplace else at this time. And Funko, if you didn't stop out today, stay with it, but the same scenario. It has to open positive and trade positive. Tandem, I just wrote down, is just a good possible short on weakness tomorrow. And SGH, Morningstar Signal Scoop, you can be buying this one. Likely target back up to the 200. Can you explain the Doji sandwich? Let me see if I can find a Doji sandwich. Doji sandwich is very simple. The bullish candle followed by a doji, and then the simple doji rule. The price is usually going to move in the direction of how they open after a doji. Anybody remember a doji sandwich? This is a doji sandwich, even though it didn't confirm. You had a bullish candle, a doji. Then the simple doji rule. The price is usually going to move in the direction of how they open after a doji. This day right here is usually the same magnitude as that candle right there. Now, if it happens at a breakout point, that becomes relevant because it told you that they went through, CRHS, yes. So, if we do the 2 plus 2, if they open this positive tomorrow, and we expect a candle of that magnitude, what's it tell us about our resistance level? It tells us they're going through the resistance level. We're in wave 3. ACB, kind of a doji sandwich. Usually you want to see it open positive after the sandwich, or as a sandwich. The bobble breakout, what was one of them? This is a bobble breakout. Notice how they brought it up, failed at the 50, sold off, and sold off right back to the T-line. Then they started bringing it back up. When they came back up through the T-line, or I'm sorry, the 50, kind of a J-hook pattern, that was the bobble breakout. This was the bobble. That was the breakout. rub. Now, if this opens positive tomorrow, giving you a doji sandwich the same magnitude as this, pretty much tells you that this area right here is breaking out. HMHC was closed out. If you didn't close it out on Friday, it would have been closed out today, because look where it was popping out. So this one should have been closed out, and you might have a bearish doji sandwich. Bearish candle, doji. If it opens lower, more than likely this candle will be the same magnitude as this, telling you they're probably heading back down to the 50. And Macy's, nothing yet. But you do have buy signals. There's your left-right combo. There's your Morningstar signal. You can be buying this one if you like. It right now is not showing anything real dynamic, but bullish confirmation would tell you it's heading in the right direction. Okay, there's still a lot of good price movements out there. Let's suspect this one to head up higher. If you own Crone, remember, what do we expect coming out of a fry pan bottom? Strong price move. If they move this up strong tomorrow, look where you are compared to your T-line, and you're in the overbought area, you flip to your 10-minute chart. All right. Oops. That's pretty close to 1 hour tonight. All right, everybody. Thank you for showing up. We'll see you bright and early in the chat room tomorrow. We'll see you then.